Hey, what's going on, Matt? I love being behind the scenes. I love being in the green room, and I love these type of intimate conversation, except for tens of thousands of folks who eavesdrop in on, obviously. Um,
Happy to be here, Shay. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, man. So I don't want to read the bio to myself. So can you just give me the narrative, like the backstory, like who is Matt Schaefer?
Well, it's been a heck of a ride. I am a former attorney who has committed his life to serving the world by supporting women as a coach. I coach women around empowerment, connection, and relationship, and I am absolutely obsessed with my work. I serve women through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and courses that have reached over 4,000 women worldwide. And I also have a YouTube channel that has reached millions of women, and I absolutely love what I do, and that's why I'm so excited to be here to share with you how I connected with that.
Wow. For folks that are tuned in right now, that might be wondering, what should they expect in this particular conversation that we're going to have? Because you help women, you help do alignment, you help do a lot of things. State, if you can, what's the problem and why is it important for folks to tune in and really pay attention?
I think the biggest problem that so many entrepreneurs are facing out there is that they're looking at their job, or they're looking at their business, like their entrepreneurial business, as a way to make money. They're looking at it through the frame of money, where they should be looking at it through the frame of alignment. Are you really connected at a deeper level with your hustle, with your entrepreneurial aspirations, or are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it because somebody else told you it's a great opportunity? You know what I'm saying? When we start doing inner work and we know what we actually connect with and what we actually align with, the work flows, the business flows, and the money flows as a byproduct of that. So that's why I truly feel that alignment is the most important component in having a successful business.
Alignment. I love that. Don't chase the money. I love how you stated that. Now, you talked about alignment. You talked about purpose. I'm curious. There's a gentleman that connected us together, and his name is Eric Swanson. And Eric Swanson is what happened to. He's just a fantastic guy. There's so many folks, sometimes they don't share their network. They're like, oh, I got mine. Hopefully you get yours. But he shares. Talk about, one, the importance of what Eric Swanson is doing with Habitude Warrior Conference. And number two, why you decided, based on his recommendation, to even share your message with the audience.
I appreciate that. Well, Eric embodies two really big hallmarks of successful entrepreneurs, right? Eric is a giver, right? Eric gives, and he gives to people sort of unconditionally. So, if he's a connector. Being a giver and a connector are two hugely important traits in every successful entrepreneur I've ever known, like truly successful entrepreneur. So I love that Eric, he always leads with, how can he support you? What can he do for you and your business? And that's why his conference, Habitude Warrior Conference, has been so successful, because it's a platform where people can connect and collaborate in a really deep and meaningful way. And I can truly say that I wouldn't be at the level that I'm at as a speaker and communicator and business person if I hadn't spent, a year working with Eric, building conferences, going and speaking all over the country for Habitude Warrior, and building a relationship with Eric. It's been amazing. So and he's also a connector. If he sees that somebody could serve another person, he leverages his network to help other people. And that's a really powerful, I think, gift that not enough people take advantage of in business.
Wow, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Shout out to Eric Swanson. Shout out to the Habitude Warrior Conference and all they're doing, connecting folks all over and connecting us where we are right now. How important is that? I got to get going in a little while. I see Karen's out there and Jessica's out there and Timothy is joining. There's so many folks. Before we get going, I'm just curious. I always like to ask the question, kind of, not what your big why is. Some people ask that question. I'm more curious about, what's your mission in life today? Like what purpose are you on?
The purpose of my life, and this is something that I've really been stepping into over the last 5, 6, 7 years as I've been on my own inner journey, right, is to serve as a bridge of understanding between men and women. So to be sort of a liaison between men and women, because fundamentally, men and women want the same things. We want the same, we want to feel the same things, we want to have the same experiences. And so often, what's in the gap between men and women is understanding how to communicate with each other. So I have taken my proficiency in language and the work that I do, and I've devoted my life to helping women understand how men act and why they do what they do and how to connect and communicate with them at a deeper level so they can have better relationships, because the purpose of human life is connection, truly at the deepest level. So I just want to facilitate deeper connections between people. That's what I'm here for.
Deeper connections. I love that between people. Women out there shouting and shouting. My wife's like, yes, pay attention. You know, I can hear she's, yes, leave me alone over here. I like that guy already. This is a great one. I tell you what, I got to get going. All right, Michael Sharp, we're going to get going in 5. I got to start up, man. Then we're going to have a fantastic show. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it away, guys. It's showtime. I love it. Can't wait. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is really provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources necessary to execute that big vision that you have for the people you were called to serve. And I believe that you have 3 visions. Some of you have a vision for yourself, how you want to live, the food you want to eat, the clothes you want to drive. And that takes what? Alignment. Some of you have a vision right now for your loved ones, the ones you love the most. Today, I had an opportunity to go by Mother Dear's house. I took her some groceries. I left them outside the door, by the way. I wanted to be as safe as I possibly could. And so I didn't get to take her to physical therapy and do some of the things we do. But you know what? It feels good to be able to write the check for the groceries. It feels good to be able to let her order what she wants. And that takes resources. And some of you have a vision for the people you love the most, the kids you want to send to a school of your choice, the community you want to write a check to. And then others of you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And imagine for a moment if you was like Noah, right? And whether you're a believer or not, I happen to be a believer. You don't have to be. But imagine reading the book of Noah, and there's this guy, and he has a vision given to him by God, and there's no hammer. Well, there's no resources. What does he do? Oh, there's no nail. What does he do? There's no resources. There's no wood, and there's no team. What does he do? He sits there with his vision. He can't save everyone else. And that might be you. And tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, Matt is here for one reason only, and that is to give you a resource that's going to help you because of our mantra that we have. And I'm coming to Matt right now, and our mantra is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. Let me say that again. I'm going to ask Matt when he hears that phrase, what goes through his mind is one of our mantras is on every one of a happy entrepreneur manifestos. But the results that show up in your life, Matt, they're just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. Talk about why that's important, if you would.
Because at the end of the day, Shay, I mean, the results we're achieving in our life are just a mirror for where we're at as individuals, for where we're at in our own journey, right? And I truly feel that the amount and the degree of alignment you have between your thoughts and your actions and your business are all going to be a direct, like the money that you make and the success that you have or don't have is all going to be a reflection of that. So, I mean, if you want to know what your beliefs are, if you want to know like where you're at in terms of your worthiness, in terms of, you know, your scarcity mindset or lack of scarcity mindset, look at your results. Our results are our greatest feedback, right? And I think one of the greatest keys that very successful entrepreneurs embody is when they stop looking at their results as some sort of judgment of their value and instead look at their results as feedback for them to learn from and to ask themselves, what's the next cut? What's the next way that I can shift to come even deeper into alignment? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I'm feeling what you're saying right now. And I guess my question would be, and just to get right to the heart of the matter is, and what's up, Andrea? Thanks for joining. Colette, Boston, we see you out there. Jacqueline, Fulton, so many of you, thanks so much for joining, by the way. Is what do you mean, Matt, when you talk about entrepreneurship or aligned entrepreneurship, and why is it important today?
Because entrepreneurship, if we really look at what it means to be an entrepreneur, it means that you have picked you've picked something that you want to use as your business, right? You have picked a business. It is deeply personal to you, or it should be deeply personal to you, because you're no longer working for somebody else. Right? In a sense, this is your business. This is your passion. So it makes sense that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, that your business gets to be a reflection of who you are. It gets to be an expression of who you are. So the questions I want to ask you at the starting here is, when we're starting to talk about alignment, is how well do you know yourself? How well do you know your zone of genius? How well do you know what brings you joy? Have you really looked at your beliefs? These are all elements that we get to, so we really, before you really dive deep into entrepreneurship, or no matter where you're at in your process, it's really powerful to check in with yourself and start asking these questions. Because if there's not alignment between who you understand yourself to be and the business that you are creating for yourself, it's going to be a constant struggle for a lot of people, or it's going to not feel super authentic to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling you, man. I'm feeling you. I'm smelling what you're cooking in the kitchen over here. You're just starting to cook over there, by the way.
Cooking with gas, baby. Always.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about what your career looked like before you found this alignment.
Well, it's interesting because, back before I did inner work, I was motivated predominantly by my ego, right? So I was in college and I was, relatively intelligent. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm a good reader. I'm a good writer. I'm a pretty good speaker. I guess I'll become a lawyer. Why not? That seems like a job that would be, and I didn't give it any sort of serious reflection at all. I had no idea what it actually meant to be a lawyer, how it was going to feel to do that work. And so I went through the whole process, became an attorney, and absolutely just did not like it at all.
Oh my gosh.
I did not. It was a miserable profession,
Right.
in so many ways. For me, it wasn't in alignment with who I was, but I didn't know who I was. So I was, I was fumbling around in the dark, just chasing money and status.
Yeah,
with
what shifted then? What shifted for you, and how did you figure out and come into alignment? And we're also curious. I know the artist got to be thinking, God, what did your friends and family say when you say, I'm not going to do this anymore?
Well, I'm very lucky to have extremely supportive people in my life. My parents, they supported, my decision to go to law school. And then when I walked, they were like, we have faith that you'll find what it is that, makes you happy. Because truly with my parents, it was always about being happy more so than being, having the traditional markers of success. But I just wanted to create success for myself on my own terms, right? In a way that felt good to me. And I ended up moving out to California, taking over a restaurant. And that was really my first big leap into entrepreneurship, as I owned a brick and mortar restaurant, owned and operated a restaurant with a buddy of mine for 5 years. And that actually, that was a step in the right direction, but it ended up really being a very hard road as well, because that wasn't my dream. That wasn't my business. I was invited by a friend to go into partnership with him in that restaurant. So even though it was entrepreneurial and it was giving me some sense of freedom, it actually ended up being incredibly draining and hard on me, because it wasn't in alignment for me. It was in alignment for my friend. And I was just kind of along for the ride. So midway through that time, I actually was so unhappy, because at this point I've had, a career as an attorney, which was, and then now I've got this restaurant. I'm $250,000 in debt. And all I have to show for it is an Oxycontin dependency. Like I was doing drugs just to like try to deal with the pain of the fact that I had spent 10 years and $250,000 and I was absolutely miserable. And that was a really tough spot to be in. And I reached a point, right, where I woke up not breathing in my sleep the third time from a combination of, narcotics that I was on. And I realized that I wasn't going to get a fourth time. It was figure out why your life isn't working or die, like Heath Ledger style. Like that's what I was facing, And so I had to be confronted with that in order to actually take the time to stop and begin reflecting on how did I get here? You see? And so that's when I truly began doing inner work and looking at, like what beliefs had I created around myself and around my purpose in life and around what it means to be happy. And I started getting into personal development in a deep and meaningful way, which led to me. And as I began to heal myself and release my my negative thought patterns and all the beliefs that I was a prisoner of for so long, I realized that this stuff was magic and that I wanted to commit my life to sharing it with the world. And I declared that I wanted to be a coach and a speaker about 5 years ago. And that was really like the big first step because I was like, I want to serve and I don't care about the money. I want to spend the rest of my life sharing this incredible information and these incredible tools with the planet. That was it. Like I just made that my mission, like in that moment. That was like the first broad step.
Yeah, no, that's right on the money. And so what advice would you have for entrepreneurs who want to figure it out? Like you were able to figure it out, right? You just said, okay, I'm going to do this and you went for it. But is there a step-by-step process? I know we only got so much time. Is there one thing, two things, three things that you would suggest to any entrepreneur that's trying to make sure they are in alignment?
Yeah, I mean, really, the key to alignment is to look at a handful of different factors in your life. Okay, the first thing you get to look at is like what brings you joy, right? What do you enjoy doing? What lights you up? Right? Because the physical activities you're going to be engaging in, are going to be a material part of your entrepreneurial journey. So you want the actual work to be something that you enjoy doing. So what do you enjoy doing? Mm-hmm. And then secondly, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing and what are you good at? Because if you enjoy playing tennis, but you're not very good at it, then going into a business where you're launching like a tennis coaching business is probably not a good idea, right? Mm-hmm. So what's in your zone of genius? What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? Right, is another huge factor. And then what will people pay you to do? Right, like what is the market? Like where can you make a difference in people's lives? Like is the huge thing. Like you want to find a pain point. You want to find a need, right, that you can fulfill doing things that you're good at and that you enjoy at a deeper level, right? And that's the fusion of those three things. Once they come together and they click for you is when you're going to feel that alignment happen for the first time, right? And like really look at the end of the day, what's the difference that you want to make in the world? What sort of impact do you want to have on the lives of other people? Because when you can make it about service, then everything gets a lot simpler. Because it becomes about your clients, it becomes about your the people that you're here to serve, not about you.
It's not about you, man. I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. I'm picking up what you're putting down over here, and I'm curious. I know you work with women entrepreneurs, and before we get into that, I'm just curious. How does a person that has, let's say, a family right now, and I know it's not like a psychology type of thing here, but they've got a family and they're like, should I do this? Or they've got other responsibilities. How does someone make that transition? Is it an overnight transition? Like you just did, you made a decision, which means you decided to cut off something and go towards something else. Is there a time when people just transition from one to another once they know what their alignment is? It's a little smoother transition?
Yeah, well, I mean, really one of the most important things you have to do is you get to create space to really focus on what it is what sort of entrepreneurial journey you want to go on. You really get to create space to focus on alignment. When I started getting into personal development and I started getting into coaching, I was working full time. I had a corporate job. I had a corporate job in property management as I was transitioning out of my restaurant that worked me hard over the course of the day, right? And so in order to and I knew I was a waste at night, like it wasn't going to happen at night. So I started getting up at between 4 to 5 in the morning every morning so that I had a 2 to 3 hour block where I could spend time journaling, doing inner work, studying different practices, emotional intelligence practices, meditating, doing all this stuff. I had to create a container for myself to do this work. And so really, like, whatever your hustle is, whatever your entrepreneurial aspirations are, like, have the time discipline to create a safe space, a container, a sacred container for you to do that work and for you to focus on it. And another huge point I want to make here is a mantra I use with my clients and students all the time, is that timing is none of your business. Timing is none of your business. You get to release. So many people get so frustrated on the timeline, right? They want it all now. They want everything to happen right now. And really, like, you get to let go of that. And there's a really great story, Shay. I'm sure you've heard the story about Will Smith talking about his dad made him build the wall.
Oh yeah, I love that. Tell it. Go ahead and tell us. Some people may have heard that story, man. But I love.
For those of you who haven't heard, Will Smith is he's a guy that he inspires me a lot, and he has an incredible story where he and his brother, I think he was like 10 or 11 years old, and his brother was like 13 or 14. Yeah. And this huge brick wall in the front of their house, like, collapsed. Right. And so their dad, who was like an hardcore old timer, right? He basically said, you guys are rebuilding that wall. And this was a massive wall in front of the house. And so, like, every day before school, they would have to go there and, like, lay these bricks. And he was like, this was an impossible job for 2 children to do. This was a full size, like, 8-foot wall. Right. And he had to let go of the impossibility of building the whole wall. And every day when he would walk out to that wall, he would say, I'm going to lay this brick. I'm going to lay this brick today as well as a brick can be laid. And my only job is to get up today and lay this one brick and then go to school. And that was what he did. And eventually there was this big, beautiful wall, and his dad looked at him and said, don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do anything, because look at what you created there. Through discipline and consistency and patience. Those are the 3. That's the Holy Trinity right there.
What are those 3 again?
Discipline, consistency, and patience.
Ooh,
take
a minute if we can slow down and we'll speed up to kind of break that down. Discipline. What's the second one? Consistency and patience. Take a moment to talk about those 3 words, if you would, just to kind of frame the conversation. For those folks out there watching, like Lawrence Hood, Deborah Gardner's out there. Deborah Gardner, she's out there in Phoenix, Arizona. She's there watching. Darren Hill, my man down there in Florida, is watching. And Jennifer Elliott said, Matt's the best, by the way. They're out there shouting Jennifer Elliott and so forth. So take a moment and break those 3 words down. And then I want to get into something that's on your website. Be heard, be seen, be free. Love Layer Revolution. I can't wait to talk about that. But first, break down those 3 words.
All right. So discipline is so critical because, like, when we're out there, when we're doing entrepreneurial stuff, right, nobody is telling us what to do. When we're an entrepreneur, we're the ones in charge of our own destiny. We're the ones with our hand on the tiller, right? So we get to, because there's one force that we're going to be facing as entrepreneurs, right? We're going to be facing resistance. Resistance is, I want you to think of resistance meaning like something, there's going to be a force trying to convince you to not do what it is that you want to do. There's going to be a voice in your head. There are going to be feelings in your body. Like, whenever you're looking to create something that's never existed before, resistance is like gravity. It's always going to be trying to pull you back. You don't need to start a business right now. This economy, look at this pandemic, look at what's going on right now. This is a crazy time to try to, go out on your own. Just go get a job working for Amazon. They're going to have jobs forever. Like, get a side job with Amazon if you need more money. Like, don't try to start your own business. There's always going to be these narratives, and discipline allows us to experience that voice and to, not try to suppress it, because it's never going to go away. You can't fight gravity. It's always going to exist. But discipline allows us to hear and experience that voice and experience that resistance and then do the thing anyway. And that is one of the most important skills I've learned in my own entrepreneurial journey has been mastering as much as I can say. I never try to say I'm too confident, right? Because the resistance is a sneaky thing. It'll sneak up on you, right? But I do feel that I've gotten control of my relationship with resistance. And it is an absolutely that's the essence of discipline, is having the skill, having the ability to get up when you don't want to get up, having the ability to set aside time when you would rather sleep, having the ability to, go into a business that you have no idea, you don't know if it's going to work or not, but you're committed to trying, right? You're committed to giving it everything you have and being okay with the outcome, releasing outcome dependence.
Whew. I like that, man. That's a smooth way to break it down, but I love it. Discipline, at the end of the day, that's what's important. We're talking to the one and only Mat Shafer. And Mat Shafer is breaking down aligned entrepreneurship, but with a whole new twist on it, by the way. Before we go to commercial, I just want to talk a little bit about one of your core beliefs that's just right on the front of his website. His website is mattshafer.com, by the way, M-A-T-T, Shafer, M-A-T, Shafer, S-H-A.
One T.
Yeah, one T. Matt with one T. Matt with one T. Shafer.com. But right on the front, you've got be heard, be seen, be free.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you put that there? Why was that so important to you?
Because at the end of the day, I feel that, what we're all seeking fundamentally is to connect and be understood by other humans. Right. So if you want to connect with other people, if you want to be understood by other people, what does that mean? It means that, you're able to express yourself to them, right? And they hear you, right? So be heard, right? And then to be seen means that for what you're doing in the world, you are seen and acknowledged and appreciated by them. And then being free means that when you feel seen and understood and honored for who you are by those around you, and most importantly by yourself, you're free to live the life that you want because you realize the true greatness of who you are. So many of us get caught up in this limited, finite version of self that's rooted in fear and doubt and other people's judgment and everything. But if we can truly see and hear and really understand who we are and represent ourselves that way out in the world, we're free. We're free from the judgments of other people. We're free from the controlling influence of our fear. We're free to live the life of highest possibility, which at the end of the day, for me, my mission and my journey here is to see what's possible for me by stepping into the unknown every day and seeing what else is available, right? And I think everybody, when they live from possibility, can create a life much greater than their dreams. And that's what's super exciting to me, is helping clients and students let go of their limitations and step into possibility.
I love it. How does someone like Mat Shafer, how does he stay so focused? I mean, even in these challenging times, we're now in uncharted waters, at least for my generation. We've never seen anything like this. And yet you're saying be heard, be seen, be free, which I understand you're not saying, be carefree, but how does one remain with that positive energy, that positive outlook, and still have what you talk about, the discipline, the fight against the resistance, to stay committed to their goals and dreams?
I think truly what we get to really embrace, and what I work with my students on all the time is, everything is happening for us. If everything in your life is happening for you, then every situation and every experience that we have is an opportunity. There were a tremendous number of millionaires made during the Great Depression, right? A lot of times, a messy divorce, on the tail end of that, you have the best relationship of your life, right? Because so often when there is a massive period of destabilization and breakdown, it's because a situation or experience that was no longer in alignment is finally imploding. Okay. And that's what happens when we are not in alignment collectively or individually, is eventually it's not sustainable. A lack of alignment is not sustainable. Eventually it is going to collapse. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I celebrate collapse and break down and all of these things, because I know that that's a shift that if I am operating from a present and conscious space, I can turn that into breakthrough. I can turn that into alignment. And it means that old patterns that are no longer serving me are falling away. So I celebrate destruction, both in my life and throughout the world, right? So I mean that's my I've already looked death in the face.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways, and I'm still here, right? And if I die tomorrow, that's okay, because I've lived, I think, my best life up to this point.
Yeah, I love not only your attitude, but I love your philosophy and I love your belief. It's certainly coming across as we're having this conversation right now. Let's take it in a different direction if we can, and talk a little about what you believe in, this love layer revolution. Now, we have no idea what that means, by the way. So you're gonna have to say love layer revolution. Talk about what you mean by that, by the way.
The love layer revolution is a cool concept, and it's funny because it's on my website, but I haven't fully built out that concept into what I want it to be. But I love that term, because I truly feel that, like, as we peel back the layers of who we think we are and what other people wanted us to be, we keep on finding new ways to love ourselves in a deeper and more pure way. So like, I invite all of my clients, all of my students, and every single one of you to start looking beneath the surface of who you are. Peel back the layers of your scarcity and your fear, and of all the reasons you can't do it, and of everything, your parents told you that you had to be or you should have done with your life, right? Everything your friends tell you about, who you should be and what you should be doing with your time. And peel all of it away and realize that at the base of it, everybody is just pure love. And everybody just wants to love and be loved in return. And if we just strip away all of the BS that we have, that we've built up, and all these stories we've created about what we're supposed to be doing and why we're supposed to be doing it and who we're supposed to be with and everything, it's just let it all go and just truly learn. And if we can do this, I think if we can operate from that space, from that authentic, connected, aligned space, it creates a love layer revolution, which is everybody, with all their layers peeled away, operating from a space where they're leading with love and they're responding with compassion. And that's a mantra that I created, that I live by, and that I tell to my students and clients every day: lead with love and respond with compassion. If you can operate that way in the world, you will be amazed at the way that your relationships will transform in your life as well.
Say that one more time. Lead with love.
Lead with love, respond with compassion. So no matter who
someone do me a favor, as you're out there right now, look right below the video, and go ahead and write these words. Now, if you listen to the podcast, you can't do this. I understand that, by the way, but you can still take the link and pay it forward. For those that are watching, you can hit the share button. You have my permission. You certainly have, I'm sure, Matt's permission. Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. We're going to pay this message forward, because in a time like this is the message that needs to be heard. So hit the share button. And once you hit the share button, write these words: lead with love, respond with compassion, hashtag Matt Shafer. Now put M-A-T. It's only one T, Shafer.com. Just hit the share button right now. Hit the watch party button, pay this message forward. And to someone else, you look right below the video. And write these words. What are the words they're writing again, Matt?
Lead with love, respond with compassion.
Lead with love, respond with compassion, hashtag Matt, M-A-T, one T, Shafer, two F's though, I think. Yeah, Matt Shafer. Go ahead and do that right now. Matt, you keep talking about your clients. You keep talking about what you tell them. You keep talking about advice you give them. And I love that, by the way. Lead with love, respond with compassion. My question is, who's your ideal client? If someone's out there watching, listening right now, I'm like, he keeps saying his clients. Does he only work with entrepreneurs? Does he work with folks who aren't entrepreneurs? Like, take a moment and kind of share with us who you work with and the problem that you're solving on a daily basis.
Absolutely. I mean, I work with women. who are looking to create deeper, more fulfilling relationships and connections in all areas of their life, including their relationship with themselves. Like the 3 words that describe my coaching, and my 3 words that embody my coaching are empowerment, connection, and relationship. So it's truly about transforming your life on those 3 levels, because in order, everybody wants to have meaningful relationships, right? Or they want to deepen their relationships with their partner. But so often, like, relationship is a mirror for things that are happening within yourself. Every relationship is feedback and mirroring things back about you. So if you want to transform your relationships, it gets to start with you. So that is a lot of the work that I do with my clients, both in my one-on-one coaching and also in my group courses. And it's a profound, it's really profound work, because relationship can be an incredible mechanism for personal growth if you approach it with the right mindset and you're able to release all the judgment and wound projection that so many of us end up bringing into our relationships.
Oh, I love it, man. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing, man? I mean, you sound like you're having a lot of fun. It's like you love it. Like you wake up in the morning like, yeah, we're going to lead with love. We're going to respond with compassion. We're going to have discipline. And then we're going to connect at a deeper level. What do you enjoy most about this, man? It sounds like you're just really loving it.
What I enjoy the most is I really enjoy witnessing my clients have breakthroughs. So there's no greater, I mean, I generally hold space for a lot of women at a time. Like I do work with women one-on-one, but most of my work is done in large groups, right? So holding space for hundreds and thousands of women, and then really getting to see them have that moment where the light bulb goes off on like a live video, or I'm coaching them live on video, and I see like this moment where I had a really unforgettable moment in my last course where a woman experienced self-love for the first time in a deep and meaningful way through the questions I was asking her. And she like had this moment of recognition of her own beauty as a human being, and she just started sobbing. And to have that, to be able to share that moment and to be just a catalyst for that moment for her, it just validates everything it took for me to get to this place, right? So being a witness to the greatness and expansion of other humans is the reason that I do this work, and it's just such a beautiful experience.
Man, wow, I'm loving what you're doing, man. This is solely amazing. When we come back, I'm going to ask the one and only Mat Shafer about today is my January 1st. We got folks out there that are writing lead with love, respond with compassion. Andre, your man Eric is out there making the biggest comments in. Mat Shafer is truly amazing leader. Eric, we gave you a big shout out, my man, earlier. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we did.
Everyone go over to habitudewarrior.com. He's amazing. Take a minute, Matt, and talk about the power of what Eric is doing by connecting you and I together and so many folks, and why Habitude Warrior Conference is like the conference to attend.
Yeah, I mean, truly, like Eric played such a huge role because he saw my greatness as a speaker really before I fully did. You know, he saw my greatness I have my own Facebook Live show, Mondays with Matt, that I've been doing for 3 years, right? And he saw me on my Facebook Live show, and he invited me to, come to one of his conferences, and I had never been to a conference before like that, and just being around so many like people that are all they're all entrepreneurs and business people and professionals, and they're all excited to grow their businesses and grow themselves. So there's always this beautiful duality of everybody is looking to just become the best version of themselves and also become the most successful that they can be. And so just being in that energy and then getting on stage and being able to experience all this, like it opened a new possibility for what I could do with my life, truly. And it led, I don't believe truly that I would be where I was at if I hadn't had those moments, and those moments were created by, the opportunity that Eric gave me.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate that. And he serves that role for a lot of people. As I went across the country with him doing these conferences in different cities across, Scottsdale and Dallas and Houston and all over the place. Like, it was so cool to see, attendees have these like incredible breakthrough moments in their own lives, and then go on to, write books and change the world in their own way. I've seen so many attendees of the Habitude Warrior Conference do that.
Yeah, super, super amazing, man. He also connected us together and said, Shay, there's someone out there that's doing some really cool things, making a difference in the world. And I was like, who's this guy? I said, Shay, he's the right guy, man, with the right message at the right time. And in fact, You are that person, man. So thanks a lot. Shout out to you, Eric. We appreciate you. Yeah, sure, I'll take that. I'll take it. We appreciate you. We come back in less than 2 minutes. We're going to get into today is my January 1st. We're coming down the home stretch. I'm going to go over to Arkansas. She's down in Little Rock, Arkansas. Kim Warren Martin. She talks about make progress, not excuses. How appropriate is that? We'll be back in less than 2 minutes.
Hello there, happy entrepreneurs. Today is your January 1st, and you guys are all awesome in my book. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, bringing you my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. This week's thought is make progress, not excuses. Tony Robbins once said, there are only two options, make progress or make excuses. Now, we've all made excuses at some point in our lives or in our business. But if you happen to be someone who's moved past making excuses and certainly letting them hold you back, kudos to you, thumbs up. But if you're struggling and lacking motivation, here are 3 things you can do to motivate or inspire yourself to take action. Number 1, think about a successful person you look up to and ask yourself, what would that person do? For example, what would Oprah do? Or what would Mark Cuban do? One thing you know is they wouldn't make excuses because excuses don't make progress, and no progress means no money. Number 2 is focus on why you got started in business in the first place. Examine how close you are to your original intent. This is more about the what, not the how. What you want to accomplish in your business should be clear, even more clear now than then. The how may vary over time as technology changes or tools change, but always keep sight of your vision and your mission. And finally, you can go to the nearest mirror, look yourself straight in the eye, and point at yourself and say, man, you got this. Girl, you got this. The Bible said David encouraged himself in the Lord. And sometimes we just need to see that we believe that we can do it on the inside without outside approval. So do it for yourself and the people you're called to serve. Plus, know that I believe in you and I know you got this. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, with the thought, make progress, not excuses. Until next time, make it a wonderful day. Back over to you, Shay.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And that mission is to empower. That mission is to inspire. And that mission really is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Now, Matt, we're going into a segment for some of you. You know what it is. It's today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st represents, for those folks that are new, represents that moment. And there are many moments throughout the day, but that moment you make a decision, and that decision could really change the trajectory of your life. And it is a do-over. It's a restart. For some of you, it's a rebirth. For some of you, it's a new chance. For some of you, it's a new opportunity. For some of you, the past does not equal the future. So you either go to the gym, well, I guess you can't go to the gym right now. You either work out at home or you sit on the couch. Or you watch Netflix. I don't know. You either eat hamburgers and French fries, or you go to the refrigerator. You open it up, and inside there's some broccoli, there's some kale, there's some celery, it just sounds good, doesn't it? For some of you, that don't even sound good, but others it does. That's a January 1st moment. So some of you look right below the video right now and write these words. Today is my January 1st. Matt, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what does it mean to you?
When I hear those words, it brings me back to something that I talk about a lot, is that the present moment that you have is all that exists. Your entire life is happening right now. What happened in the past was here to teach you, but it doesn't exist anymore, right? What's happening in the future hasn't happened yet. Don't worry about it. What you do in this present moment is your life. So look at that as a sacred space of creation. This is your moment to be the author of your life. You are the sole and uncontested author of your life, and the present moment is the page upon which you are writing. So what story are you writing? Are you eating the French fries? Are you sleeping in when you could be going to the gym? Like, your entire life is built on the decision that you make in the present moment over and over and over again. Your life isn't, one big dramatic decision. Your life is a composite of every little micro decision that you make. Just like Will Smith built that wall one brick at a time, right? You're building your life one micro decision at a time, from the time you choose to get up, to the thoughts that you choose to tell yourself, to the things you choose to put in your mouth. Every decision, to the people you choose to spend your time with. Your life is a composite, an aggregate of your choices. And all your choices happen in this present moment. So you're getting a 1,000 January 1st a day, if you say so. And that's not something to be scared of. That's something to be empowered by. That's beautiful, because you are, at your core, you are a creator. You are a powerful creator of whatever life you want. And you can make it a nightmare. That's how powerful you are.
Yeah, super powerful. What was your January 1st? You've had so many January 1st moments throughout your life. But what was one that you want to share with us that was a January 1st moment for you that you made a decision? And whatever that decision was, it changed the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest one was probably that third time I woke up not breathing in my sleep. That was from doing drugs to medicate myself from the pain of a life that wasn't aligned for me. I was in so much pain, and I had created a story that my life was a failure. And this was at 30 years old, that I had failed. I had $250,000 in debt. I was dependent upon opiates, and I was a mess, right? My restaurant was failing. And I reached a point where I woke up not breathing in my sleep for that third time. And I was at a point, I was at a choice point, right? Where I could either keep doing what I was doing, running from myself, running from my pain, and one day I wasn't going to wake up, or something else horrible was going to happen to me, right? Or I could really start to look at my life, look at my decisions, look at, who I was, how I was acting, and really start to ask myself the question, like, how did I get here? And what do I get to do to change? And that one decision to look within and to start asking myself some tough questions, and I committed in that moment to whatever it took to feel better. I was willing to do it because my life was at stake. So, I mean, like, how can you embody that level of commitment in your own life? Because you might not have been ODing on drugs, but trust me, no matter where you're at in your life, the future life that is waiting for you is at stake, based upon the decisions that you're making right now. So treat that moment with the same sort of weight and the same sort of honor and the same sort of commitment that I did. Because it's not just your life, right? It's probably also, you're setting an example for your children. You got people around you. You got your spouse. I mean, there's so many people around you, and you got to remember, the ripple that you will create in the world is in the people that are around you, by how you show up, by how you choose to live your life. If you embody courage and possibility and optimism and commitment and discipline, you're teaching that to your kid, not by your words, but through your actions, through the example that you set. So it's not just even about your life. It's about the lives of the people that are closest to you and mean the most to you. So, take all these things into consideration when you're deciding all of these little decisions throughout the day, because there really isn't any such thing as a little decision. Every decision counts.
Yeah. So true. As you mentioned that, there's some folks out there like Jacqueline Fulton is writing down, today is my January 1st. And they're telling themselves, I can feel this. Like, I'm in the present moment. I need to step up. I need to do this. And, one of the things I like to share all the time, Matt, is that the best intentions do not equal the best results. And so there's some folks out there that might be like, I want to do it, but I keep finding myself slipping back. Life is a series of being on track, and then you're off track, and then you're on track, and then you're off track. So my question to you, Matt, is what do you share with your clients to help them be consistent? A word you mentioned earlier is one of the top 3 words right away, is how do you help them remain consistent on this journey? What advice do you give them?
Well, Yeah, and it goes back to some of the stuff we talked about earlier, that like you get to be anchored in a broad intention, right? A broad intention of where you want to go and what you want to create, and then you get to continue to repeat yourself. Like, today I am going to lay this brick as well as it can be laid. And if somebody kicks it over, that's fine. I'll get up tomorrow and I will lay that brick again. And I will continue to lay bricks. And I will tell myself that timing is none of my business. It doesn't matter, like, in timing, and also thinking that you have control over timing is an illusion, right? Your job is to get up every day and commit to embodying who you are and what you're committed to creating at the deepest possible level. That's your job. Your job isn't to try to like force it into happening in, a month or 45 days or a year or whatever. Like, deadlines are good because they give you a framework to work within, but all they should be is, things to strive for. They're not like, I'm going to accomplish this by this moment or I'm dead, right? Like, it's much more about the process and being gentle with yourself than it is about, like being ruthless about needing to create something. So be patient, be consistent, focus on the moment and what can I do today? And things will flow and they will develop organically for you in a meaningful way with your business.
Absolutely. So powerful. Says so well. Ladies and gentlemen, we come back. We're speaking to Matt Shafer. I'm going to ask him two questions. Well, I'm going to ask him if he'll give his final thoughts, his final comments to inspire you. And secondly, how can you best connect with Matt? I mean, you might be wondering, Matt, how can we best connect with you? We're going to answer that question when we be back. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes for him to close us out, by the way. It's been a great episode so far, and thank you all for watching. We're going to go over now to Laurel, Maryland. So a gentleman by the name of Rob Howes. And then Rob Howes talks about something you just mentioned. It was so hilarious. But he talks about be present where you are. Just be present. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Take it away, Rob.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So, take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission really is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you are called to serve. And we believe that the results that show up in your life, well, they're just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. And that's what Mat Shafer has been talking about. First, I want to thank Matt before we ask him to give his closing comments and let him know we appreciate him. Matt, for all the folks that are out there that are like, how can we connect with Matt? We're enjoying this conversation, and we like to stay in this conversation over and beyond today. Is there a place they can go to where they can connect with you?
Absolutely. And the timing is great because I'm actually just getting ready to launch my final beta course launch. So I'm basically doing one more free love and relationship course. It's called Mastery of Connection. And in that course, you're going to do a lot of deep belief work. You're going to develop a vision for your life and your relationships, look at the way that you connect with yourself and other people, and really transform yourself from the inside out. This is my flagship course. I've worked with over 4,000 women around the world on it. And to apply to be a part of it for free as a beta tester, you want to head over to www.masteryofconnection.com. masteryofconnection.com. Fill out a quick application. My team will take a look at it, and we'll get you in there. We're starting April 13th. So anytime between now and then, and maybe even a little bit after, it's a month-long course with live coaching
Let me make
from
sure I
me.
get the website. Let me cut you off. Let's make sure we get the website. Sometimes these websites don't work, man. It's nothing personal against you, by the way. Sometimes people have these websites and technology happens. So slow down. Give us the website again.
www.
Okay, so everyone open up a browser now. Just one second. Everyone open up a browser. Let's all just test the site. Let's all make sure it works. So open up a browser now and then type in these words. What is it, Matt? He's nervous now. Now he's looking. What is it?
masteryofconnection.com.
He's nervous. He's like, there it is, Matt. It works. It works. He's looking like, oh, gee whiz. I hope this thing really works. It does work. So we've at least confirmed that you can go apply. There's a big button there, right? Looks like there's a big button, as big as day, that says that they can apply right there. And once they apply, there's a questionnaire or something else they fill out. What type of folks should apply? Is there a disqualifier? Can anyone at least apply? It says it right there for your program there.
Exactly. Well, it is predominantly for women.
Okay. All right. So I just want to clarify, because you told me that earlier. So I want to make sure this program is for predominantly women. Got it? So if you're a woman, you should be applying. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if there was one reason that a woman should apply, what's one of the reasons why at least a woman who wants to be in alignment, wants to have love and connection, wants to have a deeper relationships, what's one reason why they should at least apply and go through the process?
Because if you want to, because your awareness of self, your understanding of how you connect with yourself and other people, what your personality quadrants are, what your beliefs are, when you adopt different beliefs and you're aware of how you connect in the world, you're empowered on a totally different level. If you want to be the best entrepreneur that you can be and have the best relationships in your business and in your life, this is the foundation of all of that. So in this course, you're going to get some really powerful tools that you're going to be able to use in your business and in your personal life to just live your best life. So it's truly transformational. And I do office hours twice a week. So you'll get two hours live with me twice a week. And we have some incredible experiences in office hours, in addition to all the video lessons. It's 25 video lessons that I recorded myself. So high quality stuff.
Oh, man, that's super exciting. Give them the website one more time, Matt.
www.masteryofconnection.com. It's a quick survey, quick application, and then we start on April 13th is when the doors open to Module 1.
Right, and for those folks that are out here right now, we did confirm the website does work. Go right ahead. If you're hearing this message and after that date, fill it out anyway. If the site is up, whenever you hear this message, if you listen to the podcast, you go to www.mastery of what?
Masteryofconnection.com. And that website, after this course, after we run this course, that website will redirect to another amazing free gift for you. So no matter where,
go to the page.
No matter when.
Go to the page. He's trying to tell you just to go to the page. All right. If you're listening to me, if you're watching Roku and you said, oh, I just found the episode, go to the page. All right. Matt, let me first say thank you so much, man. We certainly appreciate it. Matt showed up, by the way, and before we got started, he didn't ask for a Cash App payment. He didn't ask for that. He didn't ask for a Zelle payment, and there was no wire transfers, no credit card swipe and succeed. He said, Shay, I'm here to serve. And he certainly has a heart to give. He has a heart to serve, and he has done that so well. So we want to thank you for being here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We want to thank you for taking time and sharing your message. Take a moment if you would, and I asked him if he would. He agreed. Some folks, some don't agree, but Matt agreed to really share his closing thoughts, his closing comments to all of you who are watching out there. Something maybe that inspire you or encourage you to continue doing what you're doing right now so you can take your life to another level. You can find that alignment. You can find that deeper connection. You can have that discipline, because today is your January 1st. You're now going to push back on resistance. Today is your January 1st. You're going to lead with love and respond with what? Compassion. That's right. Today is your January 1st. You're going to live in the present moment. Matt, thanks again so much, man. Eric Swanson, we appreciate you. I turn over to you, man, to give the final thoughts and comments to the whole audience. We appreciate all of you out there watching.
Appreciate you. And here's my final thought, is that you have a choice to make right now, and a choice you get to make every morning. You get to choose the world that you live in. You can live in a world, you can make a choice to live in a world of scarcity and fear and judgment, where everyone's out to get you, and every unknown, represents a landmine or a potential disaster. And around every turn is someone looking to take what's yours, right? And you can look at every empty field as a minefield. Or you can make a choice to wake up and walk out into a world today of limitless possibility, where every unknown represents a potential opportunity, where people are fundamentally good, where every resource you've ever needed is there waiting for you right now, if you say so, if you have the courage to ask for it. You can live in a world that is a blank canvas on which you can paint a masterpiece. And if you get up every day and you choose that world every day in your business, every day in your relationships, every day in your life, you will paint that masterpiece. But too many people choose the other one, right? Because that's the collective fear of our society. So I invite you to look at that world that so many people are choosing every day and say, thank you, and I appreciate and honor your decision to live in that world, but I choose to live in a different one. I choose to live in a world where I am worthy of everything that I want, and I'm powerful enough to create it because I say so. And that's how I choose to operate in this world, and I'm going to show up that way in my life.
Wow. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, everyone who's watching right now. I want you to know that you can do this. I want you to know that you have greatness inside you. I want you to know that today is your January 1st. You will make that decision. You will stay in the present moment. And for you, I believe that the best is yet to come, and that the best is still yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those who's watching, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen when we connect again next time. Remember, time is long, but life is short. Enjoy the moment. Make it count. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now. Thanks a lot, man.
Bye-bye.
You rock.
Pleasure.
Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Man.
Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. If you doing it, put your hands.
Thank you. God bless.